Hello. Don't I have something for you guys today? I I don't even know where to begin. I've somewhat articulated this. I've written it down kinda, but mm-mm-mm. I've had, how can I phrase this? One hell of an epiphany. Oh man, and maybe that's not the word I should use. Perhaps I shouldn't phrase it like that in good conscience, but it's beautiful. I'm gonna say this, and I really hope that this strikes the same chord, and I'll try to make this brief. I want you to take a deep breath. Do it with me, right? You feel that that's God's love. Now, I may know what you're thinking, perhaps cliche things, but I'm serious. No, I'm dead serious. The mundane, the plain. I am not saying this to merely be poetic. I'm serious. The mundane, the plain, the ordinary, the cyclical nature of living, of the day in, the day out, the day in, the day out. The fact that the earth keeps going round despite the fact that you keep making miserable mistakes. The fact that everything keeps going on. That lightning doesn't strike you. That you don't just spontaneously combust because you've made a mistake. Seriously, guys, this is God's love. Love doesn't discriminate. Listen to me. Love doesn't discriminate. If love doesn't discriminate, then keep this in mind. Think about how love stretches across everyone. If I care genuinely, if I am dedicated to the core of my being about the welfare and the interests of others over myself, and I really value others, all others, right? And all is encapsulated in others, right? Do you love others? Others is code for everyone but you, right? So to love is a non-discriminatory act. It doesn't pick and choose necessarily. Of course, to an extent, you have a priorities, but that's because we're weak. We can only do so much and be in so many places, only do so many things, but you would be surprised how far a genuine compassion could actually go. So think about that. Keep that in mind. Love doesn't discriminate. Perhaps you've gotten a whiff of it already. The earth keeps going round. It rains on the just and the unjust. The sun shines on the living and the dead. Do you understand what I'm saying? Love. God's love. This cyclical world in which everything just conveniently works out as far as the earth is concerned, as far as our own interests are concerned, as far as remaining alive enough to enjoy something. For God's sakes, you could be confined to a hospital bed and still have something worth praising God for. Why is that? Why is that? God demonstrates his love on us all. On all of us. He doesn't discriminate. Literally, and I'm not... God forbid you see what I'm saying as merely just something like, God doesn't discriminate and he loves us all. And then you try and chop it up and leave it at that. God forbid you leave with that because what I am saying is far more profound. Follow me. You breathe in and you breathe out. That's God's love. That's its love. I'm not speaking poetically. I'm not speaking symbolically. Literally. Literally. He has we have been expelled from paradise. Expelled. But where was paradise? And maybe you think I'm speaking real mythologically now. No. Where was paradise? Where was Eden? It was here. Here. So what was the punishment? To be within it and without it. It's right here. Right here. God's love. The oasis. Right here. We're within it, but we've been cursed with knowledge, wisdom, the ability to see, to perceive. We have a conscious awareness of everything going on, the left and the right, as if we were God, but without the ability to bear it. And so the exchange for this wisdom, notice how God did not necessarily revoke our citizenship rights. We are in it. Here. And to be reconciled back to God is the only way worth living. The sun, the moon, the sun's heat, the cold of the night, the warmth of your clothes, a blanket, another individual, food of any kind, whether you are impoverished or you have plenty, the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs, through the turmoil, like a relationship with a spouse, like a marriage, literally. There are highs and lows, ups and downs, and the majority of the marriage is not necessarily something like a novel or like a highlight reel. It's not nearly something that's predictable. It's exciting, but mundane. plain, normal, average, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. I hope you're catching my drift. God loves us the same, and he demonstrated it by dying, so that the sin that separated us from him in the first place, in which we became exiles in a strange land, when we became foreigners to paradise, he reconciled us by paying the atonement, instead of allowing, right when we were kicked out of paradise, or rather the vision of paradise, when it escaped our vision, when it slipped from our grasp, instead of revoking our citizenship and totally offing us and causing creation itself to implode and especially attack us, he quickly put his hand down, and he has protected us since. And he made atonement. He allowed the lesser to die for the greater. Are you following? The lesser died for the greater. The innocence of an animal atoned for the sin. God humbled himself that far down. The lesser died for the greater. He was a servant. He acted like it. He took on the nature of one. He served. We live in the palm of God's hand. All of this is God's handiwork, his craftsmanship, but deeper than that. God forbid you think I'm merely making a statement about how good God is. Deeper. See how loved you are. One more time, right? No matter what you're going through in your life, the reason why you can return to the plain and the mundane, why the days go in and out and things repeat like they're on loop, and why some seasons feel like they won't end, but the fact that there even are seasons, the fact that one thing leads you to the next, the fact that life can be terribly hard and also simultaneously totally worthwhile, is because we are in God's palm. And if it were any other way, we would not be here. I'm not so sure I've communicated exactly the revelation, the epiphany that I'm going through right now. But it's such a cause for joy. Not to draw too much attention to myself, but I happy cried. Not just to chuckle. I mean, my God, if somebody was there, I must have appeared insane. God, I mean, and if somebody was there, what am I saying? God himself witnessed me as if I were in a psych ward. I laughed and I sobbed at the same time. I laughed maniacally. And it's because it's in plain sight. God's love, his hand, is in plain sight. It's so close to our faces that we can't see it. It's right here. It's right there. It's right there. In front of you. Not something to search for. Not something to I can't believe that I only figured this out now. I've had pieces of this before, but it is incredible. Incredible. There is no point in anything else. What is life without love? God's love is demonstrated in just being here. So why do we beat ourselves up so much? Why do we believe lies? Obvious lies, in which we can't refute, or which we struggle to refute. I don't know what else to say. God is incredibly, exceedingly good. And you know what? I don't care what no one says. I've admittedly been a bit of a coward. I hardly speak about Christ in my physical life. I do, but I don't. I talk about it and I play a neutral and I try and make it about this and about that. I make it about reasoning and logic to an extent, and I try and stay reasonable. And to an extent, I have something like that with this idea here, but you know what? This is not merely an idea. This changes everything. It's like a veil has been lifted for me. It's like there's a fog, like a cloud out of my eyes. I feel lighter. Seriously. Like, this is a revolutionary idea. A seriously life-changing one. A life-changing one. You know, perhaps it would do a little justice if I read just one part. Just one sentence, don't worry. I know, we're 18 minutes in. But let's pick one. Let's pick one. Life comes from love, just as death comes from the hand of mercy. So it is that men ought to reconcile themselves back to the one who loves us so. Whether we live or die, all are loved. But paradise belongs to the reconciled. It belongs to those who are without it, but within it.